everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using the crispair card making stamp and thin cut set. Okay, so this is the stamp set and it comes with a lot of oval shapes that have different patterns. I'm also going to use papers from the Mixin collection and loosely follow pattern number 9 from Make It From Your Heart Volume 4. Okay, so instead of using the crispair papers, I'm going to show you how to use these stamps with other pattern papers, and these are from the Mixin collection. Okay, so I have this piece of sapphire striped paper and I'm going to cut that at 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4, and then I'm going to cut 1/4 inch strips of pine, and then I'll trim them down to 4 1/4. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use pine or if I wanted to use Sundance, so I'm going to cut both, and once I get it all laid out I can decide. And then this piece of pattern paper that looks like burlap or jute, I'm cutting that at 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay, so here's that piece of Sundance. So I'm just going to cut everything so it's ready to assemble, and then I can decide after I get it all laid out. Okay, and then I'm going to cut a piece of mocha. This is the light side of mocha, and you die cut this pumpkin shape, and it's kind of your template for putting your pumpkin together. And then I'm going to cut some other colors at about 1.5 inches, so I have enough room to stamp those oval shapes on it. So I'm going to use the dark side of sapphire, of paprika, and then also some of the Sundance. And I'm just going to stamp out a whole bunch of these ovals. I'm just kind of playing around, deciding what I like, and whatever's left over I can use to make another card. So there's a solid oval that you can stamp. So I'm stamping that at paprika, and then I'm going to use this plaid in mocha over it. So when it's die cut, the Sundance will make kind of an outline around the oval die cut. So I'm just going to stamp a whole bunch, kind of see what I get when I stamp things out. Sometimes you don't know till you actually stamp them out and see what they look like. So I'm going to stamp on both the Sundance and paprika. And I'm using paprika ink and mocha ink, just a combination of the two. And like I said, I'm stamping way more than I need, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make a Sundance colored pumpkin or a paprika pumpkin, so we'll see. And then just choosing, there's lots of different patterns for ovals. So I decided on the sort of plaid looking patterns. There's 2 of them, 2 patterns. But there's also flowers, like kind of a floral one, and leaves, stripes, and kind of a loop-de-loop, and then also a sentiment oval. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of those stamped out, and I'm going to bring in my die cut machine, and we'll die cut that pumpkin. Okay, so again, it's on the light side of mocha because I'm going to stamp the stem. There's a stamp for that on this mocha cardstock. Okay, and then I'll do one of the ovals and I'll take the rest off camera and finish them up. Okay, so I've decided on paprika for this pumpkin, but I've got enough to make another card later on. So I'm going to stamp that stem on the mocha pumpkin base, and then I'll stamp my sentiment in sapphire ink on white daisy. So my sentiment says, "You are the best." So I'll die cut that with the coordinating die cut. And then we're ready to start assembling the card, okay? All right, so I have this leaf and also it's kind of a vine that goes off the stem, and I'll be stamping those direct to the front of the card. So let's start assembling. I've got this piece of striped mix-in. I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. And then this pattern paper that looks like burlap, I think. It's like a pale burlap. I'll put that in the center. And then I'm going to try out the strips of Sundance or pine. And I decided on Sundance. I'm just going to lay everything out first. And then we'll start adhering everything. Okay, so first I'll lay down those strips of Sundance. You could use ribbon or shimmer trim, but I decided on just strips of cardstock. Okay. And then I'm going to just set my pumpkin down to decide where to position the stamp. And then I'll just pull the pumpkin aside and stamp down. So we have a leaf and then this little twisted vine. Put those down. And then I'll glue that pumpkin base to my card front. And now it's just basic assembly, pretty simple. So the two sides, you're just putting the puzzle together. The two ovals on the left and right side, I'll glue those direct, and then I'll pop the center one with some thin foam tape. It's going to be a pretty clean and simple card. I'll get that down, and then for my sentiment, I'm going to put foam tape on the left and right side of the sentiment and then glue in the center so that when I adhere it, it's all on one level. And for the last step, I'm going to add some of these acrylic dots. These come in different shades of green and they're self-adhesive. So I'm going to use the pine colored ones and just put a few of those around the front of the card. And there's my finished card. So all of these supplies are currently available in my online store. I'll make a list with links in the description below and you can do some shopping. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And I have quite a few in the library. And thanks for watching.